Hello, guys and gals. Me, Mudahar. Good morning. Hope you have your warm cup of coffee or cum or whatever it is that you drink. Why? Today's video is for the gamers in the audience. Woo-hoo-hoo, you know who you are. Now, I know. There's somebody in the comments who's like, look at Muda here, the boomer. A day late and $1 short. You're right. Okay, right. I'm not denying it. Okay, listen, I was busy yesterday. Okay, things happen. But ladies and gentlemen, I know one super boomer that I really love a lot, and that's Joe Rogan. Now, yesterday, the day or two ago, Joe Rogan had a little cringe take, a 1 minute long cringe take, and I think what's best said is we sit down together as a family and inject some pure proper cringe into our eardrums real quickly. All right, we got the dark mode on and everything. Now it's ready to take this cringe in.
And video games are a real problem.
Ooh, I can see. Video gamers are turning into Karens at 9 p.m. Let's find out more.
A real problem. You know why? Because they're fucking fun.
Addictive.
And you don't. Yeah. Well, I have a real problem with them. And you do them, and they're real exciting, but you don't get anywhere.
Right.
It's like you could do like martial arts, right? You could learn jujitsu. You get obsessed by jiu-jitsu, and then 3 years later, you're like an elite jiu-jitsu athlete. You're entering in competitions. You're a purple belt.
You're moving up.
Yeah, you're doing well. Right. You're thinking like, I might be able to open my own school one day.
You got confidence.
Yeah, if I have 100 students and those 100 students are paying me X amount of dollars per month, I can make a living. Holy shit, I can have this would be amazing. And then you see your jiu-jitsu school, and your jiu-jitsu instructor has all these students and drives a Mercedes, and he's got a nice family, and like, that's the future. This way you're doing something exciting and fun, and you don't. Or you could just be playing fucking video games. 3 years later, you could be that same kid just playing video games, waiting for the next whatever the fuck game is, you know, next Xbox game to come out, and you're gonna waste your time.
The Earth has stopped spinning. Who cares? It was flat anyways. But ladies and gentlemen, whoo! Do you know what the sound of that is? Ooh, video gamers coming out of the woodwork. Now, ladies and gentlemen, as a gamer myself, I have to say that I kind of understand where Joe's coming from. Full context, so to speak. Joe Rogan has actually been quite a video gamer. I don't think he's like lost touch with gaming or anything, but you know, if you look into his past, he's actually been addicted to like Quake and everything. But it doesn't negate the fact that what we witnessed was a pretty fucking cringe take, and I know a thing or two about cringe takes. Now, ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you what's wrong with this situation right here. Now, Joe immediately said that video games are fucking fun, right? And they suck you in, and eventually that's all you ever want. Now, that's really, really generalizing a situation, right? Like, there's a lot of people that play video games. Are there a lot of people that are straight hooked onto video games and sort of deny food, water, and social interaction with the world around them? Absolutely there are. Just like when it comes to any hobby, any vice, anything out there, there are a lot of people that excessively indulge in it, and it ultimately ruins it for them. Let me tell you something about excessiveness, okay? When you don't live your life in moderation, okay, I'm sounding like a fucking guru right now. When you don't live your life in moderation, okay, it's a pretty bad time. See, you could think of something like working out, right? Oh, it sounds great on paper. It is, but if you work out excessively, like really excessively, it's actually bad for your body, okay? Just like when you play a video game, you know, yeah, sure, you might be wasting time, which, can I just say something? If you enjoy the time spent, then it's not really fucking wasted. Okay, it's fine. It's whatever. Okay, am I saying that video gaming is healthy? No, it's not. It never is. Okay, you're sitting down looking at a fucking screen playing a video game. But if you enjoy yourself for an hour or two a day, that's all fine and dandy. Who cares? Now, where I kind of find this weird is that, listen, if you just elaborated that, you're talking about the individuals that are excessively playing it, like going into MMOs, 10, 11 hours a day, okay, forgetting to go to their job, not having a job, not interacting with the world around them, failing to keep up with responsibilities. I could understand that. But the generalization is really stupid. Now, the idea of wasting time, as I've said it just earlier, when you have fun, it's not really wasted fucking time. What I kind of got out of that take, all right, most of it, even with the context added both before and after it, was that if you're not making money, all right, if you're not like raking in the fucking buckaroonies, then I guess it's wasting your time. Which, let me just be real about it, okay? Let's just use his own example, which was the jiu-jitsu person, okay, learning, they get into jiu-jitsu, they get addicted to it. 3 years later, they become a fucking elite jiu-jitsu master, and then they eventually open up their own like dojo. Let me just explain one thing to Joe and everyone. This might be just explaining how Joe's slightly out of touch with the world, but when you become a jiu-jitsu master, it's not always like the easiest thing to open a dojo. Now you're jumping into things like small business, so you're pretty much going under the assumption that every jiu-jitsu master who's like looking at his peers are like, yeah, let me open a dojo. Yeah, you got to have money to do that, all right? And then this concept of looking around in the world, like, look at my jiu-jitsu master. He's driving that Mercedes around. He's got that nice family. Like, you have this fucking boomer assumption that this one aspect, like having the fancy car, having the house, having the family, is like everyone's general like route to happiness. You don't know how people define happiness. You don't know exactly what people want or what they don't want. So to have these generalizations is actually really fucking dumb. Now, that's really all I have to say about Joe Rogan's take. It's not something that I find overly offensive. It's not something that boils my blood to no extent. I think it was a dumb, cringy take. What I found cringier, though, was a lot of the gamers on Twitter that came out of the woodwork and they were like, ah, fuck Joe Rogan. Sorry if that burst your eardrums a little bit. That was my little ASMR take. All right, I think I can be a great ASMR YouTuber. Please fulfill my fucking the confidence. I'm kidding. Now, ladies and gentlemen, okay, when it comes to the people who are getting really offended about all this, who are getting really like thrown up in arms about Joe Rogan's like generalization, just calm the fuck down. You're coming across like Karens on the internet. Listen, my man had a cringe take. That's about it. When you look at the history of Joe Rogan and the things surrounding him, like, I might not watch his podcast like every episode, but I know enough about Joe Rogan, and I followed him before the podcast to know the history of the man. He doesn't hate video games. I think from a man who comes from severe video game addiction, his perception of the hobby is different. His perception of the hobby is different from how he's defining it. You know, when Joe Rogan looks at a video game like Quake, his other like example is probably like Fortnite or Call of Duty, competitive first-person shooters with like individuals who are always playing these games to vie for a career. Listen, if you want to make money out of gaming and whatnot, there's streaming, there's video production, there's a bunch of things you can do, okay? But when you go into hobbies, right? When you go into hobbies like this, and when you look at the concept of money being used to define the worth of a hobby, it becomes really, really, really fucked up to think about. Because here's the thing. Most recreational hobbies are effectively wastes of time. If you're not, I guess, if you're not profiting, if you're not making your future better by what you're doing, then I guess it's technically a waste of time. Gaming is about as much of a waste of time as fucking fishing is, all right? When you look at video games, when you look at people who are getting into it, I play video games to enjoy storylines, to get into RPGs, things like that. I play video games like people watch movies or people read long books, long novels. That's how I play a lot of my video games. When I look at the way Joe's almost looking at them, I can kind of see where he's coming from. You have a lot of these people who go into the video game world. They want to play video games. And then some of them, a lot of them, especially kids, want to make a career out of it. And here's where I'm getting down to a thing, okay? Here's 2 points. When you try to make your hobby a fucking career, it kills the entire hobby, okay? Video games, all right, people who play them 10, 12 hours a day and make a shit ton of bank out of them probably don't enjoy playing that fucking video game as they progress throughout their life. And second of all, all right, the most important thing about this situation is moderation, all right? Most people who enjoy a fucking hobby, tying it back to the beginning, all right, I think most of the gamers in the situation, you know who you are, enjoy playing video games, and that's about it, all right? How they choose to spend their time is their time. Calling it a waste or not based on your perception is fucking hella cringy, and that's probably what most people should have just gotten pissed about, laughed at it, and moved on. Now, if you're from the camp that got really, really aggravated about it, sit back, relax, understand the nuance of the situation, and then just fucking move on with your life. Gaming is fine. It's okay. It's a great hobby. I'm never gonna fucking speak against it. But that's not to say I don't see where Joe's coming from, all right? There's a lot of people who get sucked into it, who probably get addicted out of it, who probably keep trying to make it a career when they fucking can't, all right? It is what it is. Ladies and gentlemen, that is my ultimate look at one of the most, like, top-tier cringe moments of this week. Joe Rogan, I like him, I love him, but goddamn does this man have some Neanderthal thoughts every once in a while. Ladies and gentlemen, let me know what you think in the comment section below. And I'm gonna pluck something. This video was sponsored. I left it to the end. Okay, I could have been a fucking beauty channel. All right, you know, the people who make straight up videos just to advertise their shitty palettes. But I left my ad to the end. If you haven't watched my latest video that was released yesterday, but somehow missed search engines for like 6-7 hours, please check it. I'll you know, just go into my video manager list. You'll know what it is. Ladies and gentlemen, this is me, Mutahar, and if you like what you saw, please like, comment, and subscribe. Dislike it if you dislike it. I am out.